And I want to introduce you to something called Gripper. Okay, so Gripper is an extension. Okay, here is Gripper is an extension. You can install it. Okay, using you can install Gripper using the Gripper extension. So what Gripper does, I heard they explained it in Auth. You can choose to vote for a code, okay, and add it to the Gripper community, or even add add the code, okay. So for example, if I click my code answers, okay, I do have already code that I've ever used, and you can see these are the titles. For example, how to do camel casing or title casing using PHP, okay. So I did this and recorded it in Laravel, and it actually worked. Here is one for title is too long, a solution. Okay, so and you can also vote for other people's Gripper code. So you'll be always seeing the Gripper code. So Laravel authentication, okay, and then Laravel authentication. So there is a new authentication and old authentication. So here is Laravel talking about the authentication and what you should follow. So in the introduction, if you want to get started first, you choose Laravel UI and then PHP Artisan, Auth for Vue, or there is one for Bootstrap, those who are going to be using Bootstrap. So I'll install PHP Artisan. So you can come and read through this. So Laravel is saying that you want to get started, install the Laravel UI via Composer package, and then so install the Laravel UI Composer package and run PHP Artisan Auth, okay? So now this is good, but it's not direct, so let us see what others have for us. I'm getting one from Tutorial Point that I already typed. So PHP Artisan make Auth, that is actually old, but you can see here is Gripper, okay? So you can get it and save with Gripper. All right, so there are other solutions again with the Laravel Auth. So let me see. So I'm going to type Laravel 8 or Laravel 9. And you can see here comes one with Gripper. So Gripper is saying Composer require Laravel UI. So we're going to come here in our bash. So we're going to come to our terminal, and then we type new terminal, and then we type Composer require, and then Laravel stroke UI, and then press enter. So it's going to install the UI for us. Okay, then it is done. Then we're going to go ahead and install now the Vue UI. Okay, so here it is, PHP Artisan UI Bootstrap Auth. So those who are only going to be using Bootstrap, first we're going to install the one for Vue JS. Okay, so here is one for Vue. So PHP Artisan UI Vue Auth. Okay, so there it is, and then it is telling us to run npm install and then npm run dev. So npm install. So npm install is going to install the UI, the Vue UI for us. Okay, so however, if I refresh here, so you're going to see something new. You can now see login and register. So we're going to have that someone to view this, they must have logged in or registered. All right, so I'm going to talk about the Laravel Laravel views, okay, and then we see how we can go about them. All right, so we have two routes with Laravel. If you're going to get the routes, you come here to routes, and then you choose the web routes or API routes. Okay, so here is the middleware is with Auth and Sanctum by default, and we're going to see how to run with the token. Okay, So we already have a user token in our migration. If I go back to, okay, we haven't created the database yet. If I go to the database, you'll see that all, we are going to go ahead and use the web routes. Still, we can get the same results with the web routes. All right, so I think I can start with the web routes. That is up to us. View with the web routes. All, I can go ahead and, in fact, I'll use the API in the API routes when we are creating the same project for our mobile phone version. And I'm going to create that. Just subscribe and like these videos. Trust me, everything will come to light. All right, so let's wait for the terminal to install. Then we are going to use web routes with the Laravel UI, with the Vue UI, and then we shall come back to anything else. Okay, so we have our Vue now installed, and that will be under JS, okay? So here is resources, JS, and then we have our app.js and Bootstrap, okay? And then here we have our first Vue components. So if I click on app.js, here is our default view, and then it is running through example component. And then it is looking for an ID called app. However, if I refresh here, nothing will happen. So let me go ahead and run npm run dev as instructed. So the first thing I'll do is I'll clear the terminal. So I'll type clear. Okay, then run npm. npm run dev, and then press enter, and it will start our Vue UI for us. However, I don't want to run dev. I'll run something else, but I'll show you the problem between dev and one called hot. Right, so it's going to run it for us. So I'll go straight to the project because this is not teaching you Vue.js. No, it's creating the project for us. So when you go to our routes here, and we go to the web routes, by default, it is looking for one called welcome. Okay, but that's not where I want mine to be. You know, I want mine to go to something else. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create a route here. Okay, a route is like creating a link that it will fetch from. Okay, so and I get one custom route which is going to be called, it's going to be called dashboard. Okay, so dashboard will look through, I'm going to use it through the home controller just for now. So dashboard will look through a home controller, okay, and then look for one called dashboard. Okay, then I terminate. So we're going to have to create this view called dashboard. So I'm going to go to my views, okay, and I create a new folder, which folder I'll call maybe dashboard. And then inside dashboard, I'll create a new file and I call it dashboard.blade.php. Then I press enter, and there you go. So for us to see this dashboard.blade, so we're going to come to our home controller, which is under app. Okay, then we go to HTTP, then we look under controllers, and then we look under home controller. So under home controller, I'm going to create a public function. The other one was called index, but I'm going to create a public function, and I call it dashboard. The reason I'm calling it dashboard because it's where this controller is looking for. So under this controller, they are looking for a function called dashboard, okay? So dashboard, and then I'll leave it empty for now. We are learners. And then I'll make it return, okay, a view, okay? And the view it will return will be under dashboard. So under views, okay, it is going to look in the folder of dashboard and get a view called dashboard. Okay, dashboard and get a view called dashboard. So for it will automatically complete that is called dashboard dot blade. Okay, so I'm going to go to this view called dashboard and I type P. I have an autocomplete or H1. Let me do one H1. H1, and I say welcome to Afi Farm Light Dashboard. Afi Farm Light Dashboard. All right. So I want by default, okay, when a person comes in, instead of coming to welcome, they go to that view. So which means at the default, so this here means default, okay? I want it to go to a folder called dashboard and then look for a view called dashboard. Okay, on first routes. So if I refresh this time around, it is looking for a view called dashboard and it is giving me an error because I'm missing an A there, okay? So I'll add in the A and then save and then come back and refresh. And you can see we have gone, by default, it goes to that. Welcome to Afi Farm Light Dashboard. I don't know if that's what you want, but which means if you want it to go to the login, of course, you'll have to go into the views, look for Auth, then you choose login. So which means we're going to go into the folder called Auth, here in the views, Auth, and then we'll look for our login.blade. Okay. Then if I save, come back here and refresh, by default, it's going to the login. Okay, so our login is having issues just because we haven't added Bootstrap in our links. All right, so we're going to come here and then look for Bootstrap. So I won't be looking for Bootstrap view, but I'm going to install that for the moment. But I'm going to look for getbootstrap.com. Okay, for our login. Then I link the CDNs. So I'll link the CSS CDN. I'll copy that. Then go to our, okay. Instead of the login, since that is linked to this, I'm going to show you how it is linked. So if you go to login.blade, it is extending from it is an extension from one called layouts.app. So which means under views, I should look for one called layouts and then look for app.blade, okay? So, and that's where I'm going to add our link for Bootstrap, okay? Then I'm also going to add our link for the styles, okay? So if you had installed the Bootstrap view, you won't be able to, you shouldn't be doing this because during the installation of the views, because it will be there. Okay, during the installation of Vue, for us, we chose Vue.js. So, which means I'm going to go to, again, our get bootstrap and then look for the JS bundle. Here it is. And then put it under this. And then save all. And then come back and refresh our login. Voila. And everything is fine. However, for us, we're going to be using Bootstrap Vue. I'm used to it. But however, even if you don't install Bootstrap Vue, but you have this in the link, it will work as fine. But I'm used so much to Bootstrap Vue, and I'm going to install it since we are using that. So I'll come here and look for Bootstrap Vue.